launching of the DDNS. So at this point, we now proceed to the press conference where members of the media may raise their questions regarding the newly launched system, its implementation, and its benefits to the Bangsamoro people. Now, before we proceed po, may I request our discussants, no? I will be introducing you again po, no? We will be joined by Ma'am Ustaza Loraine Tanli. Alright, so our Deputy Minister, Madam Mrs. Lee, and of course, Sir Attorney Muhammad Muqtadir Estrella, our Bangsamoro Director General. Alright, and also, Director. We also have Director Hassim Jamil, Director 2 of Programs and Operations Services of MSSD. We also have Director Jonathan Mantikayan, the Director of Bangsamoro Information and Communications Technology Office. And also with us, Sir Andreas Westenberg, Head of Office of the UNICEF Mindanao. Alright, so our discussants will help us answer technical questions related to the newly launched Beneficiary Data Management System. Alright, sige po, no? While waiting po sa ating technical team po, no? We'd like to acknowledge, no, our media partners who will be joining us po sa ating press con. Alright, so kasama po natin, no, sa press con natin ang the Philippine Star, the TNA News TV, NBBC DXMS, Brigada, DXDB, Wave FM, Z Live Stream, TM Radio FM, Balitang Bangsamoro, TNA News TV Online, Mindanao Mobile Journal, Gabay Radio, Voice FM, DXUP, DXMM Magnet FM, BMB or the Bangsamoro Media Productions, Radio Nating FM, PTV Cotabato, iMinds PH, Periodista Publication, Empire Radio, Mindanao Expose, Dear FM, Maguindanao News Update, DXMR, and Primetime News. And of course, kasama rin po natin ang news team mula sa Bangsamoro Information Office. Alright? So we highly appreciate your role po, no, in helping communicate programs and initiatives that uplift the communities across the Bangsamoro region. Now, for the mechanics po, no, ng ating press con proper, so kindly state your name and media organization before asking your question po. Again po, no, kindly state your name and media organization before asking your question. So, again po, no, aside from that, we respectfully request po one question and one follow-up question at a time so that we can accommodate everyone po. No? So, again po, we have Jab po, my partner po dito sa ating press con, who will be assisting you po. So, he will be giving the microphone po to the media partner po na may mga questions. And of course, we'd like to acknowledge din po ang Putang Baton News team and rapper nito si Sir Ferds. Ayun. Sige po. Alright. At kasama rin po natin ang Gold Star. Thank you so much po sa ating mga media partners. Alright. Sige. So for the first round, ayun. First round of question. Sige. Jab? Again po, no? To our media partners, no? For the mechanic po, kindly say your name and media organization before asking your question. And again, no, one question and one follow-up question at a time. Para po makakulit natin, hindi ba mga media partners? Kung nalito, again, please raise your hand and our team, no? Si Doc will assist you. Okay? Sige po, baka po may mga question na po kayo. The floor is now open. Ayun, sige po. Please state your name po, ma'am, and the organization that you are representing. And your question din po.
Good morning, I'm Chinchin Hautay from Igadan Setan, Cotabato City. My question is, how much ba yung fund na spend dito, and then meron bang counterpart from the Bangsamoro government and from the development partners?
Online. Online.
Hello. Auzubillahi minasyaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Ma'am, maraming salamat po. When it comes po to the development of the beneficiary data management system, we have the support of the Australian Embassy and also the UNICEF. The funding components, ma'am, for example, would be the training workshops that were used to prepare our people, to prepare our team members, the hiring of a consultant, for example, an international consultant at that, to check and assess on the BTMS as a system, the risks, for example, and also the hiring of a worker assigned in the Ministry of Social Services and Development to personally build on the BTMS as a system. Again, this was being developed while simultaneously also the MSSD has been implementing several programs and services. So while we were doing that, we were also pilot testing some of the aspects of the BTMS, including, for example, the data management side. But in terms of figures, ma'am, I think sometimes somewhere among probably below 10 million pesos all in all, and portions of which were also covered by the Ministry of Social Services and Development. Because, for example, in terms of the hiring of the workers, while in the initial year, that was covered by through our partnership, the MSSD later on absorbed the said worker, and then some of the tools were also bought and purchased by the MSSD through its regular funding. So both coming from the regional office and also from the partners in terms of funding.
Opo. Another question is, how sure po kayo, kasi wala namang perfect, there's no perfect execution, implementation, whatsoever. How sure po kayo, out of 99.9% na ito, sustain itong programa nito, itong beneficiary management system, given na si Minister Raisa Jejuri is known sa UBGP, and you have partners along with the other ministries.
Thank you so much for that, ma'am. We understand the changing political landscape today in the Bangsamoro government. However, as how the minister herself, Ma'am Raisa Jejuri, led us, governed us under different chief ministers po, both Chief Minister Murad and Chief Minister Sir Abdul Rauf Makakua, it doesn't matter, ma'am, who is leading, because the way we approach things is based on the systems. So it doesn't matter, for example, kung sino po yung namumuno, the system is there. And I think whoever, for example, becomes the minister of the MSSD would also appreciate the fact that it's not based on personality, it's not based on one brand of partisan, for example, politics, because at the end of the day, when we talk about delivery of social services, it knows no party lines. We've always said this in the MSSD, ang pagtulong po sa kapwa is non-partisan. So it will be definitely po, ma'am, kasama, because even our internal policies in the MSSD are already using BTMS as the tool within which we will implement our programs.
Follow up, I meant the question is not only among MSSD, but what about along with other ministries? Kasi you've mentioned kanina sa speech po ninyo na kasama po ninyo dito, katuwang po ninyo, other ministries, and of course, the PSA.
Yes po, thank you for that, ma'am. What I mentioned po, ma'am, is that the Office of the Chief Minister has consistently shown its interest of upscaling, expanding the reach of the BTMS. So we have also consistently worked with them. We have presented, our minister has presented
the BDMS and the Financial Assistance Systems Transformation before the cabinet, and there was an agreement in the cabinet that the system, especially for example the digital transformation side, particularly now if I may share, the planned Bangsamoro card, wherein it's going to be a valid ID, going to be an ATM card as well for our beneficiaries, which would be used not just by the MSSD, but the entire Bangsamoro government. So that's the kind of future that we are looking forward to.
Alright, anyone from the panelists want to add?
Thank you, Ms. Jean, for that question. On the part of programming, as we institutionalize things, as DG mentioned, we will not look at the priorities of the leadership. While it's important, of course, but what we have built as a system, central to it, is our program participants. So long as we continue our registration, so long as we continue our implementation with identifying beneficiaries, so long as we are providing services to our program participants or the beneficiary, the BDMS will stay. It's an institutional tool rather than a tool that will be used by different leadership. So it has to be, we're preparing this as part of also part of our task to hand over it to the regular Bangsamoro government after the transition. That systems are built with our beneficiaries and our clients, the Bangsamoro people at the center.
Alright. Any addition from the panelists? Who wants to add? Si Sir Mantikaya, Director of BICTO.
Yes. Regarding the sustainability of the different digital platform developed by different ministry, not only MSSD. The Bangsamoro Information and Communication Technology now rolling out the Bangsamoro Government Super Apps. What is this? This is the collection, interfacing, program interfacing between different digital platforms throughout the world. So this is point where the user can go and access all digital platform or e-services provided by different ministry, because we understand that each ministry has their unique system. So this Bangsamoro Government Super Apps harmonize, synchronize, interface those different digital platforms.
Alright, thank you so much, Sir Mantikaya. So, kami proceed na po sa next question natin. Alright, so another question mula sa ating mga media partners. Sir Ferdinand Cabrera from Rappler and Total Bato News.
I just want to ask you, sir, how will this benefit your program with the Bangsamoro region, especially now that this is digitalized? And the second question is for the MSSD, how will common Babo and Bapa access this data system if she wants to be part of Corpus? If you feel or she feels that our family is qualified to be, and I want to access directly because the problem is yung daming layers of people that they want to now they wanted to go directly and to communicate with the agency. How will it help them? The first question is for the
Thank you so much for the question. So how we at UNICEF work with MSSD is we have a long-term work plan with the ministry. So we sit together actually at the beginning of each year, and then we revise it. It's a 3-year work plan, and it's a rolling work plan, and every year we kind of revise it and decide together on priorities. Because the idea really is for us as UNICEF to support the priorities of MSSD. And that's the same what we did with the BDMS. We provided technical assistance for MSST, who is fully in the driver's seat and owns the entire process. And we are there to provide technical support, which we have agreed upon and we will continue to do so also following the expansion now of the program since it's been launched. So we started this process on the BDMS, our support, in 2023. So it also took quite a while, over 3 years, to really come to this point where we are now. And we're very proud to have been able to partner with MSST on the development of this tool.
For the second question, sir, two things. First is on who will use, for example, the BDMS, right? Primarily, it's going to be the case workers who will access the files and information. They also encode the information of their beneficiaries into the system. The public can also use and access data of the BDMS. In fact, a portion of the BDMS can be accessed right now through the MSSD website. So for example, if you are a researcher trying to find out how many indigent women are there in a specific community, that information can be accessed through the MSSD website. In terms of the question of how, for example, Ababu or Abapa can access the services and avail of the services and programs of the MSSD, something needs to be clarified. As to the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, the targeting is with the national government. It's a nationally funded program implemented by the MSSD, but in terms of beneficiary selection, it's with the national government. In the past, they had this listahanan as the tool, but because of the subsequent enactment of a law pertaining to the Community-Based Management System or CBMS, I understand and we were informed that they are now shifting towards the direction that the targeting of beneficiary households, the poorest of the poor, would now be based on the data provided by the CBMS. Now, given this term, what if, for example, there's a Babu or a Bata who needs to avail of services excluded from the universe of the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program? They can, in fact, walk in, for example, into any of the offices of the MSSD. A social worker would be assigned to have an intake. So in the intake sheet or intake form, social workers would have a case profile, and essentially, that case profile would be uploaded into the beneficiary data management system. It will also be used as a tool by the case manager or the social worker in this case to make a determination based on the circumstances of the client what interventions are best to be provided. So this would mean, when we say interventions, this would mean which programs would be appropriate. So if it's, for example, a family living in poverty, then we have Tulad Pamilyang Bangsamoro, wherein we provide livelihood seed capital and monthly food allowance. But before doing that, the beneficiary has to undergo training for a chosen livelihood, for example. So things like that. Or if it's immediate, for example, need, let's say in crisis situation, hospital or medical allowance, then we can endorse it to be through BCARES. It's the counterpart of AIX here in the Bangsamoro region. So all in all, if for example there's a walk-in client, we enter and encode his or her data and profile, even the family sometimes, right? Into the system so that we know how that person, how that individual, or how their family was assisted by the MSSD. So later on, sir, for example, this family originally approached the Maguindanao del Norte field office. Because of internal displacement, let's say armed conflict, they had to move to SGA. The moment they now visit our SGA office, our team in the SGA would now have an understanding that they were originally from Maguindanao del Norte, and they would not have to start from scratch, right? They would know of the assessment that would save us time. It's beneficial to the worker, it's beneficial to the clients. And that would be, for example, now, the starting point, how to better serve again this specific client if that happens in that situation. Compare that with the traditional approach where there's the case folder. If the client would say, galing na po ako sa Maguindanao del Norte, it would take some time and perhaps certain issues before the case folder would be shared or the contents of the physical case folder would be shared with the people in the special program.
So in actually, this best serves for policymakers, researchers, journalists, and government. So it's really an international partner.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, maraming salamat po. Okay na po, servers. Ayun. So, now for our next media partner we'll be asking, we have Sir Tu Alin Alfonso
Yes.
from DX JC Voice FM.
Thank you so much and congratulations to the good Bangsamoro government. My name is Tumarid Alfonso from Voice FM Cotabato. I'd like to know about the health social protection program that the government has for the trustees. Then 10 social protection program. Yes, po. You have mentioned that would have benefited 106 of households, including women and other beneficiaries. And second is to the victims, sir. Doc, paano ba gumagana yung sistema nito and how it goes, no? Kasi alam namin na malaking pondo yung ininaan dito for transparency ng pagkali ko ba. Thank you so much, sir.
For the second question, kami din po yung sasagot sa LSSD, sir. It's not the Victo po that processes yung sa LS po. Pero there are ongoing coordination mechanisms with the Victo. Sabi nga ng minister namin, sir, we don't mind sharing BDMS with the Victo if it means magiging Bangsamoro wide yung covered po niya. For the first question as to the programs, we are fortunate po to have here with us the Director for Programs and Operations Section, at least 10 social protection programs that we have under the BDMS, no?
So I don't have the long list now here with me, but essentially these are including the programs that MSSD is implemented. One is the ABACA program, that's the education assistance. Another one is the Bangsamoro Sagip Kabuhayan program, this is for livelihood assistance. We also have the Unlad Kalinga Bangsamoro program. The Unlad Kalinga Bangsamoro program is a support to a whole family, livelihood, and then eventually you will have to be supported with another assistance for them to be able to go up to the level of better well-being, self-sufficient well-being based on the social welfare indicator. Another program is we're also looking at the Lingkod Pamayanan para sa Kapayapaan program. That's actually the para-social workers. These are most of them are, for many of them, are former members of the Bangsamoro Islamic Women Auxiliary Brigade who are now joining us as part of the volunteers of MSSD to deliver services. Another program is our subsidy to our ECCD workers or the child development workers. We are supporting augmentation to our, you know them as baker workers. It's the LGU support, managers, centers, and these workers are facilitating the daily sessions for our other workers. We also have different programs, including the, let me check some of the list, but this also include the disaster risk reduction program that we have. We have a program called Kalinga para sa May Kapansanan. These are subsidies for the persons with disabilities. I mentioned also that we also have the KILA. These are for the solo parents. We have the Kukuk program. These are for the children in need of parental care. You know them as orphan. We have the Bangsamoro Cares, the critical assistance for intelligent in response to emergency situations. These are the beneficiaries or program participants that would require support for crisis. Those who need support after hospitalization, medical assistance, among others. There are also programs for those who are affected by crisis or disaster. We have the emergency shelter assistance, or we call ESSA. These are for the families whose houses are dilapidated or being affected, destroyed by disaster. We have the multi-purpose cash assistance also. That's a program for crisis, especially those who are affected by disaster, affected by crisis at the household level. And we're hoping that these participants or beneficiaries will also be benefiting with the current response of all crises. So all in all, if I may summarize that, the Tequila for solo parent, Kalinga para sa may kapansanan, Abaka para sa mga kabataan, Unlad para sa pamilya, Pagsamoro sa gitkabuhayan para sa individual na kailangan ng well-being assistance, Kukok para sa orphan, Pagsamoro cares para sa mga nangangailangan sa crisis, emergency shelter assistance para sa nasiraan ng bahay, para social worker support para sa ating volunteers at yung multi-purpose cash assistance.
Yeah, follow, sir.
The second part of your second question, sir, right around like what I mentioned earlier in my answer to, I think that was Rajo question, around 10 million pesos, sir, in terms of the development of the BDMS since 2023. At the moment, sir, for everybody's information, we now have 110,000 households covered in the system, representing around 423,000 individuals. So, billions of pesos po ang namamanage in terms of information and data. Yung mga nabigay po natin at napagkaloob natin sa mga beneficiaries who are now part of the BDMS.
As you have mentioned earlier, this would open to researchers or to public, but how do you ensure the data privacy and the digital security of the target beneficiaries that now in the data system?
Correct. Sir, in compliance with the Data Privacy Act, the identities and other sensitive personal information could only be accessed by the case managers and also the IT people behind the team. And they are also, as sanctioned by the Data Privacy Act, they also sign necessary documents in terms of confidentiality and data privacy. What we can and what we do offer to the public, for example, in terms of research, would be data and statistics that are useful. So for example, how many women beneficiaries are there in one municipality? In terms of the provisions of programs and services, in terms of ratio and proportion, for example, what percentage would be children, what percentage would be senior citizens. Those data which would not include the sensitive personal information of the beneficiaries are the ones that we do publish in our website and also in our knowledge management portal called ILMO, Information Learning Management online of the MSSD. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Okay, so Director, okay, kaya with that?
Yeah, because you had mentioned Victor. Actually, beneficiary data management system is a platform. So this is a platform. It needs digital infrastructure, and this is not the only digital platform by the Bangsamoro government. So what the Big Two can complement is we are having a farm-wide internet connectivity project. So based on this digital infrastructure, the beneficiary for the BDMS will be able to utilize that infra. Secondly, the Bangsamoro Government Super App tried to interface different digital platforms because each line of agency in the bank, they have their own digital platform. So we are creating a scenario or place whereby we will be able to harmonize, synchronize those different digital platforms.
Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations, sir.
We got Serto from DXDC Voice Center. We have another media partner also from TMA News TV Online. We will be asking a question po. Kindly introduce yourself lang po.
Hello po, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Ang katanungan ko lang po, sir, since today is the ceremonial launch for the beneficiary data management system, ano po yung pinaka-main purpose po natin, bakit dito po isinagawa sa SKCC at main purpose dito mga events na ito? Maraming salamat. TMA News TV,
Thank you
question. Definitely awareness. Kasi you can have a system, but if nobody knows what it does, what it's for, then nahirapan tayong mag-explain. So when you say ceremonial launching, it's to make sure everybody understands that there is such a tool or a system available for use. And we also invited all our partners from different ministries, from CSOs, so that they are and international partners, so that they also know that this is here for them to take part of. Whether you're a researcher, a journalist, a business entrepreneur, these data that will be made available will actually help in decision-making scenarios. Therefore, yung main objective po ng ceremonial launching natin today is really awareness. And I think it's also in celebration of progress and development. We need good news every so often. And when we talk about people first policy ng Bangsamoro government, lahat are happy. So this is something that would boost the morale of all our partners. At the same time, yung mga intended beneficiaries namin, they would also have hope that perhaps they will be next in line, inshallah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much po, Ma'am Ryan Talalit. So for the interest of time, no, we still have 5 more questions na nakapila po, no? So if you have pahabol na questions, please approach that because we will be wrapping up the press con. So now at this juncture, we'll be entertaining a question from TM Radio.
So good morning po, sir. Good morning. I'm Shelo Cubao from TMFM Cotabato City. My question is about data accuracy and identification. How will the duplication of beneficiaries be avoided, especially those receiving aid from MSSD and another agencies?
Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. That's the reason why we are working with the Office of the Chief Minister and the Bangsamoro Information Communication Technology. Part of the conversation, ma'am, is that we do not want the problems in other regions and in other countries in Southeast Asia to happen in the Bangsamoro. One of the challenges in almost all government systems is that their agencies work in silos. We do not want that to happen in BARM. So we started to talk to the Office of the Chief Minister to discuss it with the cabinet members, and the other ministries and offices are actually open to possibly share data so that in the future we do better targeting and we understand, for example, that if one ministry was already able to provide a certain service, then perhaps another ministry should be able to complement, no? And not to provide a duplicate service or program for those beneficiaries. So for now, ma'am, this is launched for the use of the MSSD and of course our beneficiaries and the public. But in the future, part of the discussion and part of the ways forward is for us to converge with other ministries, offices, under the leadership of the Office of the Chief Minister, inshallah, with the help and support of our brothers and sisters from the BICTO, so that we will share data, of course, in compliance with the Data Privacy Act. So, in doing so, we just have to make sure that the custodian, data custodian, as referred to in the Data Privacy Act, the MSSD, would have to enter into necessary agreements with these agencies so that when we share, there would be no violation of confidentiality.
Thank you. Okay, so another question is coming from DXN1.
Daisy Mahmoud po ng DSNY RMN Cotabato. With all due respect po, simula na nagsimula tayo kanina ng oras. I'm sure na nabanggit po ang itong BDNS. Pero ang target natin beneficiaries po at na ni Deputy Minister kanina na they have to understand this. Pero ang tanong ko lang I am not minamaliit sila. Pero alam natin na ang mga beneficiary natin, mga baba, babo. So why not unawa natin ito sa Tagalog? Kasi with all due respect po dahil napaka-techy, hindi lahat techy. Ang pinag-usapan natin masyado siyang technical, ang mga words. At kanina, paano natin maipaunawa para sa acceptance nila na huwag kayong magulumihanan dahil hindi naman talaga ma-violate ang inyong data, inyong privacy. So, how can we ipaunawa sa kanila itong when we are talking, when we are explaining, using, baka naman sa kayo Deputy Minister na hinihin ko, yung pinakasimple, na at least maunawaan. Kasi yung pinaka-challenge dito, kasi napaka-technical. Pag sinabi mo, may mga ganit, system na involving, pwede ba na, ano itong beneficiary data management, ano lang yung saklaw nito, ano lang yung limitation nito, na hindi, yun ang ibig ko pong sabihin. Na ipaunawa, please lang, sa pinakasimple, na maunawaan ng ordinaryong nanotigit ng beneficiaries po. Thank you po.
Thank you, Ma'am, especially for your advice. If you notice yung Facebook page po namin, it's actually in Tagalog. Kasi yung intended audience would be the general masses who are also, some of whom are also our beneficiaries. Second, meron po kaming rule sa HR na kung MS or local worker has to speak the dialect. Kasi hindi lang po Tagalog, pero actually most of our beneficiaries also do not understand Tagalog, but they do understand their own dialect. So, every time may papasok, may general intake sheet po kami, which will now be encoded, ngunit bawat social worker po will have to explain ano ang mga kailangang information, anong gagawin. So, yun po yung ginawa ng UNICEF and Australian Embassy when they help us train our social workers how best to roll out this program sa community level mismo. So, napaka-importante po, I really believe in what Ma'am said, yung language barrier, we have to remove that. And that is why, if you notice, yung mga social workers namin mismo are pure locals from that municipality din po.
Ma'am,
May follow-up question
Ito
po.
BBMS, saan tungkol ito? At least maintindihan lang kung ano yung nilalaman niya. At least yun lang po. Yes, yun lang po.
Ang beneficiary database management system po, this is a database or lahat ng mga impormasyon na basic profiling ng bawat beneficiaries ay nasa loob ng computer wherein pwede na nating i-access yung ano ang mga programa na nare-receive nila. Pwede din natin kung gamitin ang datos na ito to suggest ano pa ang other programs, not just from MSSD, but from other ministries na pwedeng mag-uplift ng life nila. For example, isang pamilya po nagtatanggap ng subsidy ng rice and education assistance. Pwede din po natin i-refer siya sa MBHTE or MOST for scholarship. So kung alam po natin yung profile ng individual and family, mas mabibigyan po natin ng correct and accurate interventions upang ma-intensify po yung effect ng ating government services in China.
Alright, maraming salamat po Ma'am DM and Ma'am Lizzie. So at this juncture, we'll be entertaining another question from the Philippine Star.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Biday, and magandang tanghali sa ating mga officials. I've been covering for a long time sa mga projects and programs ng mga foreign benefactors. And especially recent, sir, I started as a research staff of the Oblates of Mary Immaculate for foreign funded projects of the Catholic Oblate priest long time ago, and I can remember we were working still for CPC2 that time. Now I think country program for children too. That was early 1980s yet. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll write something about this. This is something so beneficial for residents of Guam, and I think this would help with records online. This will help address this malpractice of LGUs to blow the number of beneficiaries of support ayuda from MSSD. So we discover all sectors that would be beneficiaries of, like PWDs, and how would they be listed in this? I think that is for us in the media very important to talk about, especially my colleagues in the area. I'm a print journalist, to tell on air how the public would benefit from this. That's just very simple explanation from you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. And I also acknowledge the importance of the question that was raised by Ma'am earlier from Lacey po. The question, Ma'am, clarify ko lang din po that the reason why we're using English right now is because we have our partners from the UNICEF and earlier from the Australian Embassy. But rest assured po, ma'am, our commitment and our appreciation with what you mentioned earlier, rest assured that when our workers, the field social workers, talk to our beneficiaries, it's in a language that they really understand po namin. Hindi lang sa pakikipag-usap, pero even po the words that they use. Sa madaling ano po, sir, ito-connect ko doon sa tanong ni sir. In the past, whenever a client would approach us, would approach any of our offices, there's going to be a case folder that will be created for that client. The client will be interviewed, the data, the information of the client would be stored in that physical case folder. So right now what we're doing, instead of the physical case folder, it's now going to be digitized. No? And also, in the context of encoding, before encoding the data of the client, the municipal social worker explains the confidentiality, the nature of confidentiality of the information. That it will only be used to process, like the sensitive personal information would only be used to process so that that beneficiary would receive the corresponding support that he or she needs or the family needs from the Ministry of Social Services and Development. Kagaya po ng binigay ko, sir, na example kanina, if a family or if an individual was assisted in Maguindanao del Norte, but because of displacement, they had to move to special geographic area, our social worker who will now receive that client in the special geographic area would not have to work from scratch because they don't have the physical case folder. Instead, they would be able to monitor. They would also, sir, be able to see what kind of longer-term interventions would be needed by the family. Because some of our programs, eloquently discussed by Director Shem earlier, some of the programs are for crisis situations. So, yung mabilisan lang yung mga beakers, no? But some of the programs would require training before provisions of assistance, yung mga longer term naman po, sir. So, our data through the BDMS would be able to capture how many times did this client already approach the office. If the small-scale assistance is no longer working, then most definitely, this client, the family this client represents, would need longer-term solutions. So even through that data po, we would be able to capture. No? And very important po yung example natin na yun, especially in the context of BARM, where we have Bangsamoro Autonomy Act number 62, where if you are classified as internally displaced person or household in the Bangsamoro region, there would be rights-based approach in terms of interventions that would be provided. Rest assured po na pag kumukuha ng datos sa ating mga social workers, sa ating mga kasamahan, pinapaliwanag po nila kung saan gagamitin ang datos na ito. Rest assured din po, whatever we provide publicly would not include the sensitive personal information of our beneficiaries. So, thank you so much.
Alright, maraming salamat po, Sir Rich. And Sir John Olson from... Okay, so Sir Leto Hasim Dami with that.
Sir, gusto ko lang nagdagdagan po, ano yung sinabi ni DG. Ang data natin ay hindi mag-replace yung sensation. ang beneficiary data management ay tutulong para mas mapabilis at mapalakas pa natin ang pag-update ng serbisyo. Importante na sa unang pagtanggap ng ating mga beneficiaryo ng kanilang mga serbisyo ay mailaghala na natin sa isang sistema para po maiwasan yung paulit-ulit na pag-interview sa kanila. Maiwasan po natin na hindi totoong tao, yung sabi ko kanina, yung nailista, kundi mismong may mukha, may pangalan, may edad, kumpleto ang impormasyon ng totoong tao. At maiwasan natin na yung pagkuha ng serbisyo na dapat para sa isang tao ay kinukuha ng iba. Yung sinasabi ko pong misrepresentation. So sa una pa lang, aayusin na natin ang pagkuha ng impormasyon mula sa kanila. Ilalatag natin ang maayos sa sistema kung saan nakastore ang kanilang mga data, ang kanilang mga informasyon. At kung kinakailangan ay maaari natin kaagad-agad. At masigurado natin, sabi ko nga po kanina, na totoong tao at siya po ang tunay na beneficiaryo ng isang programa.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Sir Hasim Jamil. Thank you for answering the question of Sir John Manzon from the Philippine Star. So we still have two more questions, no, from that will be coming from the Philippine Information Agency, Region 12, and from the Bangsamoro Information Office. So if may question po kayo, please let me know and approach me kasi po you'll be wrapping it up na po. So I'll be turning over the microphone to our media partner from the PIA Region 12.
Good morning, sir. I have a question from the Deputy Minister. Sir, we will know how does this system helps or guides the policymakers in the region in designing or developing more social assistance programs in the future? And how does this system also promote transparency in terms of aid distribution? Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful question. I'm really excited to answer because when you have good data, you also make good decisions. And the ones who need to make good decisions are the ones making the laws by which programs and interventions will be anchored on. We cannot run a program unless there's a law that allows us to have the funds for it, right? So if you're able to have data, for example, when we first rolled out yung Kalinga para sa Kapansanan, for the persons with disabilities or determination, we didn't expect the data that we will get to be that high. Not a lot of people knew then that there were so many who are classified under PWD. Therefore, if we have data that we need more interventions, specialized interventions for this sector in society, then we are able to legislate laws that would fit their needs. So data is important because the moment someone from a family comes, even if mag-isa niya lang, lahat ng pamilya niya would be profiled. So kung may anak ka, school age level, what other government service can we offer to that child to make sure that they are able to finish their education on time? Meron din tayong issue ng stunting. So health issues, kailangan din natin ng data. How many of our children actually need nutritional intervention? So, kung frontline agency po kami, we are the ones who go house to house, we are the ones who go to communities, and we also have the manpower and the social work background to deliver accurate, authentic data. Depende lang sa needs mo, how you will use the data. If I were an entrepreneur, part of my feasibility study would be to find out how much of this municipality lives beyond or below poverty level. Anong klaseng product or business would actually work in this municipality, right? Similarly, with government service, we need to understand that limited ang resources natin. However, data gets you the right programs within that limited resources to actually give more intense impact. Second, in terms of transparency, ito na. Wala nang multo. Hindi talaga celebrate ng Halloween, right? So wala nang those families, wala nang bloated numbers that can be used to, for situations that will not be of help to the Bangsamoro people. Therefore, more for others. Hindi yung parehong tao, lahat ng servisyo, yung 10 na social protection programs, iisa lang ang beneficiary. No. With the right data and transparency, we're also able to distribute equitably. So yung rights, because at the end of the day, a civilization has to have justice in order for it to thrive. So BDMS, at the heart of it, is being just dahil lahat ng Bangsamoro people may karapatan, hindi lang iilan lang.
Sige po sir, may addition po?
If I just may make one addition to the very beautiful answer, really explaining the importance of data, is that to say that the BDMS is one component of the wider social protection plan 2024-2028 that the Bangsamoro government has developed and was launched last year. Because I think it's a tool, we have to see it as one component to operationalize the systems, but the implementation of that plan is already ongoing, and that is the one that expands the social protection services, and you mentioned nutrition, health, education, all the other sectors, and it's really a cross-sectoral effort in the Bangladesh government.
Sige po. Any other additional input? Okay, so for the last question po, ay magagaling sa bio. So, ganito po po yung kasama natin sa bio. Sa more information office. Alright, so anyone from the media? Wala na? Okay, so I think that concludes our press con. Maraming salamat po to our media partners and sa ating mga discussants. We will be distributing the, I think it's already distributed, but the printed press release. And also the photos and the videos po, we will send it po sa inyo. And the lunch and snacks will be served outside. Yun po, maraming salamat. Again, for the last shout out sa ating mga media partners. Thank you for coming po sa ating mga partners mula sa TMA News TV, Gold Star, The Philippine Star, Notre Dame Broadcasting, DXMS, Brigada News FM Cotabato, DXDP Wave FM, Z Livestream, TM Radio FM, Balitang Bangsamoro, TMA News TV Online, Mindanao Mobile Journal, Gabay Radio, Voice FM, DXJC, DXUP, DXMM Magnet FM, Bangsamoro Media Productions, Radyo Natin, PTV Cotabato, iLines PH, Periodista, Publication, Empire Radio, Mindanao Expose, Dear FM Kabahan, Maguindanao News Update, DXMY, Prime Time News, and of course, ang Bangsamoro Information Office for the live feed. And also, ang Bangsamoro Multimedia Network.
BMN.
Okay, maraming salamat po.
Tapos yung press Waalaikum salam. Diyan po natatapos yung ceremonial launch press conference regarding on beneficiary data management system right here in Sharif Kabunsuan Cultural Complex, Cotabato City, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nanood at sa ating mga viewers, followers. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.